Alright guys, so this is going to be a quick little review. So, last night I saw Star Wars Force Awakens. I was about to say Rebels, my god. Force Awakens. Force Awakens. Good film. Not the best film, but good film. We're going to talk about the good. Visually, I thought it was stunning. I was like, wow, it's a good little ride. Again, this will be a rant, and this is not about the movie, but my fucking god, did they really have to show, what was it, 18 minutes worth of trailers? Like, holy shit, I'm like, get to the movie, come out, because I was with my best friend, and he was like falling asleep. I was falling asleep too. I was like, oh, I can't get to another trailer. Please do not show Batman v Superman. Show that on another film, but no, they show Captain America, X-Men Apocalypse, Independence Day, all these other films. Oh, it was ridiculous. Enough with these trailers. I think to the point, I think trailers are irrelevant at movie theaters now. We live in a day and age of technology now. They release it online before the movie comes out. What's the point of doing it during the trailer? I mean, during the movie. But I digress. That's just my opinion. Moving on. This movie was very good. Like, stunning wise, it was very good. The pacing for it was very good, and what I mean by the pacing, I'm going to talk about the pacing. I talked about the visuals a little bit earlier, but let's move on to the pacing. It's very quick. Like, one minute you're sitting down, and the story of all these characters, they're progressing so fast to the point, like, I was like, okay, this is really good, because I remember, I'm just sitting in my chair, watching the movie theater, I'm thinking to myself, let me fast forward through this, but I don't have my remote control. I'm like, oh shit, I'm not at home, I'm in the movie theater, and they move fast. I was like, oh shit, it feels like they move fast with it. We got introduced to Han Solo and Chewbacca real fast. Chewie, and yeah, that was really cool. The fight scenes, lightsaber battles. Let's be honest here, they weren't as good as the prequels. But then again, the prequels only focused on that. They didn't care about the story or the Force. They just cared about the lightsaber battle, which I thought that got redundant, especially after the second one. That second one, Attack of Clones, should be Attack of the Shits. That was just horrendous. The third one, they kind of handled a little bit better. But yeah, so there's not that much big lightsabers battles. Now the Force in here is strong in this movie, like literally, like no pun intended. It was really strong. Like Kylo Ren. I'm just gonna spoil this one, but Oscar Isaac character, I forgot his name, but Kylo Ren, Oscar Isaac character, shot this beam gun. I'm gonna call it the beam rifle. The beam rifle, and Kylo Ren just stopped it, like the Matrix just stopped it, and I'm like, oh shit. Oh, and the beam, it's not those little beams. The beam was as long as 3 or 4 arrows, and it was just like he stopped it in mid-air, like some DBZ shit. I was like, oh, that was cool. That was fucking awesome. I kind of like geeked out a little bit. I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. Ren's storyline, how she got in there was pretty cool too. I like Ren. Finn, as a clone though, he had a lot of personalities for a clone. I was like, Jesus, you got a lot of personality, Finn. And the dynamic between Finn and Rey was really good. I really like these two together. The relationship wasn't forced. They had some good chemistry. You could tell Finn cared about her, and he liked her. And once he saw her fight, he was like, "Oh, she's badass." And kind of cute too. And I like that dynamic because that's how people are. And it didn't even matter his skin color. Like his skin color didn't even matter, which was even better. So I kind of like that. Actually, Star Wars doing the better, showing the world of diversity with this, which is good, because the problem I had with the old films, they really didn't do the diversity right, especially. But then again, that was in the 70s and somewhat in the 80s, so I digress. But this is really good. Let's talk about the story behind it. The story behind it is the return of the Jedi, but also the return of not the Sith, but the First Order, pretty much the new Siths per se. And it's a good story for both, more so the Sith. The First Order, they're interesting, but I think the Knights of Ren, or the Knights of Ren, needs to come out in the next film. And I'm about to talk about my problems with the film in a minute, and it kind of revolves around Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren in this film was not a bad villain, but he was not a good villain, if you see my point. He was good once the mask was on. Once he took his mask off, that's when it all the intimidation or all the fear from him was just gone. I mean, like, I just went straight for it, like, you should just cut the mask on because he's very intimidating. Once he take the mask off, you'll see the scene in the film if you've seen it. That's when all the intimidation and all the fear kind of went away with him, because he was straight badass. He just had me like, I was like, this dude here. And the thing I hate about him was there was this other general, his name escapes me, and he was supreme leader supreme leader of Snork, whatchamacallit, general, and he's talking back to Kylo Ren. I'm thinking to myself, if that was Vader, Vader would have played that shit. Vader would have choked the shit out of that dude, saying, "Let me show you the power of the dark side." And I'm like, dude, like, cut him down, cut his arm off, show him who's boss, show him the power of the dark side. And pretty much the whole story arc with him is he's trying to be Darth Vader. He's trying to be his predecessor, per se, trying to be like Vader, trying to be as strong-willed as Vader was. But once you watch this film, he's not. And I think this was JJ, and I think and Disney way of saying there can never be a Darth Vader because there's only one. Which, if that was the take they were going with, I think this was good. But other than that, I thought Kylo Ren should be a little bit more better. But that's just the minor nitpick. Other than that, this was a fun ride. I enjoyed it. I cannot wait to the next one. Plus, Rian Johnson. If y'all seen the movie Looper, God, that movie is one of my favorite movies that has came out in the last 3 to 4 years. I just enjoyed that movie from start to finish. And with his writing and his directing, and he's doing Star Wars too, oh my God, I'm going to see it. I'm going to see it because I'm a fan of his work. Not the fan of Star Wars, of his work. Similar with J.J. Abrams. I'm a fan of his work. I'm a fan of the Super 8 film. I'm a fan of Star Trek. Star Trek Into Darkness. Some people hate it. I liked it. I'm a fan of Cloverfield to a certain extent. But I'm a fan of his work. Lost, all his stuff he's done. And when he got to Star Wars, I was like, okay, good. Because, like, once they told me the guy from Super 8, I was like, yes, I loved Super 8. That was my favorite film in 2011. One of my favorites, just enjoyed it. And now we got Rian Johnson, the guy who did Looper. Oh yeah, you got my money. Also, Princess Leia, she was good for the time she had. Captain Fassbender, or whatever that girl's name was, whoever, she was a non-factor in here, to the point where I was like, why did they even show you? As a matter of fact, y'all could have just had her in the back corner and said, I'm on my way for the second film. That would have got me pumped for the second film, because she did nothing. And then let's get to Luke Skywalker. He was a non-factor too. He was just in one scene and that was it. Hopefully in the next film they'll have more, but I think they're doing it right. The people who had the screen time, who deserved it, were Han, Chewie, Finn, Rey, the new, yeah, who else? Those are the only 4, I guess you could say. And Kylo Ren and the First Order. So pretty much they focus on them and they did a good job. I mean, other than that, I mean, yeah, this film didn't do too much for me. But I digress. As always, guys, like and subscribe. Let me know down below what you guys thought of Star Wars Force Awakens. Did you like it? Did you hate it? If you're pumped to see the next one, if you've seen Looper, let me know down below, because if so, I'm going to do a review on that film too. I'll probably do a review of all his films too. And also, the thing I would like about Rian Johnson, he's a fan of anime. So yeah, that film, Star Wars, oh boy, we're going to see a lot. If you're an anime fan, get ready. You're going to see a lot of influence or a lot of scenes from anime in Star Wars, the next film. Best believe it. Plus, he's writing it and directing it. Whew. Lord have mercy. As always, guys, like and subscribe. Let me know down below what you guys think. Peace, and have a good day.